Hello, and welcome to Dress to Kill, your favorite fashion and action movie podcast. Today's episode is a watch-through of The Spy Who Loved Me from 1977, a movie we both loved and had a lot to say about. Clothes, characters, camera work, we get heavy into all of the above. And a special treat, listen to the very end to find out where that Ronald McDonald ski suit came from. To see images of the looks we're talking about and tell us what you thought of the movie or of our podcast, head to our Instagram at DressedToKillPod and find us on Twitter at DTKPOD. Enjoy!
The year is 1977, and The Spy Who Loved Me comes out with Roger Moore and Barbara Bach as the two leading characters. Barbara Bach, sorry.
It sounds like it's Barbara Broccoli, but you're just like, cool. But we're best
Bach.
friends, so I call her Barbara Bach.
That's her. And then, and it's directed by Louis Gilbert, who also has done, he's one of the Bond directors that they've brought back multiple times. And I have to say, his Bond movies are always so fun. I enjoy them a lot. They aren't always the most critically acclaimed, but I think it has a lot of fun stuff in it.
Do you know which other ones he's done?
You Only Live Twice, Moonraker. Listeners, am I missing one more? I feel like I might be.
Are those both? I haven't seen either of those, right?
No.
I love that, like, you're also my encyclopedia. Like, I have to ask you.
No, you haven't seen either of those. Yeah. No, it's just those. That's the three. They call it the monorail trilogy because there's always a monorail.
The monorail trilogy.
Some people say that because there's always a monorail system in his villain layers and stuff.
I love it.
Yeah. And guess what other movies came out this year? Star Wars.
No.
Saturday Night Fever. Annie Hall. Close Encounters of the Third Kind.
Is it the first Star Wars?
Yes. So what a year for like big epics to come out.
Yeah.
And amongst that was James Bond, which is awesome. It had 3 Oscar nominations.
What? This movie?
Yeah, for like stuff like sound and best song, for example, which I really love the song. We'll probably talk about that in a minute. I want to mention one more other movie that came out this year, which is like more just because it speaks to me. The Turning Point. Do you know?
Never heard of it.
I know, right? But guess what? This is a ballet movie, a big one that had like Baryshnikov in it and stuff. But and one of my ballet teachers from when I was
is in it.
Yes, as like a very side extra role.
That's very cool.
But yeah, and then but that movie actually got, this is totally a tangent, but it's still interesting. It got 11 Oscar nominations and 1 0. And
wait, and 1 0.
1 0. Yeah, it didn't win any.
I thought it had 11 nominations and 1 0. I was like, I don't. What does that mean?
It didn't win anything, unfortunate. Which it shares that same stat, like most nominations and 0 wins, as the record with The Color Purple.
Oh,
I know. Also 11 nominations, 0 wins. I was just surprised by those 2 facts.
It's just both of them have to be years that a lot of really good movies came out, so it was hard to pick.
Exactly.
People ended up skewing the same way.
Man, yeah. Anyway, 1977.
Wow.
Damn, like big year for movies. And then fashion-wise, I mean, it's the thick of the 70s.
It's
disco.
Thick
is the word. Like thick lapels.
Thick is the word.
Thick lapels. Thick bell bottoms.
Makeup starts getting thick.
Really thick.
Just about here, they're like, let's lean into the 80s.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Disco is big. The bell bottoms and hair is big.
1977, the thickening.
And a lot of those trends are pretty apparent in the costuming of this movie too. You know, the crochet beanies.
Are you saying that plurals or more than one? Please,
in general,
please help me.
That one, you know the one.
The crocheted beanie.
The crochet beanie on Barbara Bach.
She's lucky she's got a well-shaped head. That's all.
Yeah. Light blue tuxes. That was a thing. Remember? Yeah. What else?
This is where Dumb and Dumber got it.
Yeah. No, totally. And Wedding Singer. All those. Wait, was it light blue? Anyway,
I feel like it was one.
I think it was. So yes, 1970s. I mean, if you think about like, like that funk guitar, the waka waka sound and stuff, like you that's like that era, wide lapels.
Like chick bow.
Yeah, exactly.
Kind of sound. Please send us your sound clips if you want to imitate some 70s with your mouth or hands. Hands can do it.
Mouth and hands. So yes, Farrah Fawcett hair, lots of beige on beige stuff with silk scarves and like like the very patterned silk scarves.
Stripey.
Yeah, long,
like thick stripey.
Yeah, long saddlebags, like purses. Shoulder bags.
Are saddlebags a thing that people call a body part?
What?
Like the way they say muffin top. I thought saddlebags are a thing like that.
Oh my god, is it? I feel like it should be if it's not.
I think it is. I don't remember exactly what it is because I think it's a little expired, but I think it is.
Let us know if you have the answer. But yeah, okay, let's get into the movie.
Okay.
So it starts out in Austria Ski Sequence. Yeah, the locations in this are gorgeous. Austria, that ski sequence with the stunt where he jumps off of the
and then parachutes.
Yeah, that got a standing ovation.
I buy
applause.
that.
Yeah,
I was like
at the premiere. Yeah,
while watching.
Still,
it's like actual that it happens, right? It's not cuts.
No, yeah, exactly. And I think it took him a minute the stunt guy to open the chute. That's why there's like the silence is so long. You know how there's like a long pause in the music. And then the chute opens and it goes da-na-da-na.
Man, you think that guy almost died?
Probably almost. Like it's I don't know. Like no, I mean I was just thinking like the camera crew, how much. I don't think he actually almost died. No, but
I mean it was the 70s though. There are too many things like that going on sets. So they're like, that's fine. We don't have this legal system set yet for filmmaking.
It was the Wild West of filmmaking for sure. Let's try all the things. And I'm just imagining the camera crew like holding their breath, like waiting for him to open his parachute. Like the intensity still looks great on screen. I think it's a great cold opening stunt. We have to talk about the fashion in this, right?
Yeah, I just called him the Ronald McDonald. I kept being like, okay, Ronnie.
This is McDonald's ski man.
McDonald's ski man. And McDonald's existed in 77, right?
Yeah,
that's a good question. What year did McDonald's get birthed?
Yeah, I feel like in the 60s. I don't know why I feel like the fast food.
77.
Yeah.
I
didn't watch that Michael Keaton movie, but
I watched a bunch of this type of like, because McDonald's is a big culture shifter, so it's involved in a lot of like cultural docs, which I love. And I'm pretty sure it's pre-77. I don't remember exactly when though. Okay. I don't know how big of a franchise it was by 77 is the question.
Yeah. Did it dominate and everything?
Certainly by the 80s though, we had ads everywhere. So it had to be something. Anyway, Ronald McDonald skis down a hill and then parachutes.
Yes.
What fun.
Yes. But also in this cold open, you see the Agent XXX, and you meet her. And I love all of that stuff.
Love that dupe sequence where it's like, oh, another agent man. Oh, and he's Russian. Just kidding, it's a lady.
Exactly.
But she's still named XXX. Like, okay. Yeah. Well, we had Pussy Galore like a minute ago, so whatever.
And then they remake the movie with Vin Diesel.
What?
I'm just kidding. It's not related to the Vin Diesel XXX at all.
Okay, I forgot Vin Diesel made a movie called XXX, and I was just like, I'm sorry. What secrets are you holding? Okay, got it. Correct.
And yes, so that's the cold open, which I didn't know this fact, but I guess it's a fact. My husband Ricky was telling me that I guess Roger Moore like requested to have a ski sequence in like all his movies.
Well, he did. So
I know. I was like, that makes total sense.
Why? Because he's a good skier.
He is a good skier.
He just likes the way the snow lights him. He's like, I want to look that good.
Exactly, with his like tan, his super tan.
Give me that under and over light.
Another side thing is the place that he actually I guess he lived in Switzerland part-time. So in the same town that Ricky's family goes to, and so so my husband's mom has met Roger Moore on the train and stuff.
Oh my
which is
gosh.
awesome. Yeah. And yeah, she
Was
said
it
he
on
was
the
a big
monorail?
skier. Yeah, precisely.
That's cool.
Yes. So lots of Roger Moore connections that we love. And yeah, he's a big skier. So the title song by
I liked it, and I didn't know it was from this. Like, I know that song
yeah, I was gonna
separately,
say.
which is good, cool. Yes. I feel like I need to hum a few bars to remember which one it is. This is just what I'm remembering from my notes.
Nobody Does It Better.
Nobody does it better.
Yeah.
Is it that one? Okay. Yeah. It's a little of the Bond songs I've heard. It sounds a little slow.
Yeah,
Surprise.
it's like the ballady type.
Yeah, but I like it. I liked it slow.
Me too.
I feel like that intro sequence was like, how
Tell
can
me
they
what
show
you-
that? Because it's just naked.
I know. I thought that too.
It's
you
just
see
naked.
full boobs.
You
like,
see full boobs.
Boob-
It's
yeah.
just like, oh, but they're tinted blue, so it count. It
Like,
counts.
No, yeah, it's
And
not
they're
even
red.
Not even
Cool.
silhouetted.
They're
Like,
Smurfs. They're still tits.
I know. I was thinking like,
Crazy.
imagine the shooting of that. But you know, it was the 70s. Free the nipple.
That's my
They were
question.
Very...
Like, was that because we already had some production codes about like what's allowed to be shown, but I guess the 70s fought back hard enough. I don't remember in the film industry what happened specifically in the 70s. I know we had more stuff going on like 80s, late 80s, and we had a bunch going on like 50s into 60s. But
Yeah.
like 70s, I don't know. Maybe there was like a gap where they just kind of were like, just kidding.
Anything goes.
I don't know.
I know, because this is like probably PG. I don't know
Or
the
maybe
rating,
because it's
but
London. Maybe they had, because I'm only thinking American film history. I don't know what the
I don't
rules were in
know,
London.
But the rating system, I feel like, should apply. You know, like the
I mean, they would want it to be released here, right? Under
yeah.
fairly large enough audience ratings.
Yeah, I don't know, but they were all naked, acrobat.
You even saw her. It's a quote. I call it a. I'm doing air quotes. Side boob, but it's like side boob with nipple, like full side of
full
boob
nipple, like
of her, of main character.
of her. Yeah. I know.
In the
I
shower.
remember.
And I'm like,
Yeah.
Also, like, I understand she's like, treat me like the boys, but she's showering with the fucking door open.
I know.
It's,
okay.
Even if it was the boys, I guarantee you in 1977, some boy would walk by and be homophobic. On that ship, all the Americans on that ship were like clearly asshole, homophobic, sexist, fucks. Okay, I'm being a little exaggerating, but they seem to go in that direction. I'm sure one of them would have walked by even if a guy was showering in there and would have been like, ew, penis, I'm going to scrub myself forever to get clean from that vision. Like, probably would have been like, gross.
I feel so dirty.
Yeah. So, come on. I don't buy it is the answer, is what I'm getting at.
No, I also don't
Not
buy
purchased.
it. Agreed.
I take that out of my cart.
But we're getting a little ahead
Sorry,
of ourselves
sorry,
here.
sorry.
Because there's a lot of that to talk about in this, especially during the Roger Moore era.
Yeah.
Yeah, we know this. But
What's the name of the song? Did you know the name?
It's called Nobody Does It Better by Carly Simon.
There you go.
Yes. Written by Marvin Hamlish. I love it.
I love it too.
It's one that's stuck in my head often, and like out of the slower ones, I think it's probably my favorite. No, Diamonds Are Forever is my favorite, but this is a close second.
I immediately go to Kanye. My head just takes me to Kanye.
Sure. Yeah. Makes sense. But yeah, overall, I mean, I actually like the title sequence. Like
I actually think it's one of the better ones.
Yeah.
Also,
right. What I like is like the simplicity and the color palette.
same.
Oh,
and I like the simplicity of like it's about the bodies and the movement. It's not like let's sprinkle and do this and split them apart and pull them together. And like
that all the new ones are like
all the new ones are like
too much.
And how many mirrors and how many shards and how many droplets,
DNA gun things.
I understand you're trying to tell the story, but it's like too literal and too much altogether.
Yeah, I'm okay with it just being a visual beauty of like, let it be something pretty. Yeah, just simple primary colors. I noticed this time it's just like blue, red, and yellow. I don't think I ever
Did
paid
it have
attention to
yellow?
that.
I
think there was a moment when there was like a split of yellow and red or something.
Makes
there was
sense.
nice use of color. My favorite is the girl that's spinning on the pole that is in line with the gun barrel.
The yellow, or not the yellow, the red and the blue because of Russia and England.
Yeah.
That's cool.
That is cool. Yeah. I didn't think of that.
That's probably quite obvious, but I didn't think of it either. I was just like, naked.
Yeah,
There's a nipple. Naked. There's underwear on that one. Naked.
Yes, exactly. Oh, she's wearing underwear. Okay. Yeah. But like imagine on the soundstage or wherever they shot this, like, okay, now just run around with a hat on, topless, underwear, hold a gun, go. Like the things that they were telling them to do, like just run around and turn around real quick. Like
for sure.
It must have been a hilarious sight.
I also always think it's interesting in moments like this where you see it's obviously meant to be a very neutral, timeless, like she's naked in the, you know, the most natural of forms. Mm-hmm. But when they have them wear underwear, she's wearing underwear that are not skin color. Mm-hmm. Therefore, we can see all of how the underwear is cut, and that's obviously going to date it, like the way an underwear looks. And I always wonder, like, why didn't you just do, if you're going for the full neutral, have her wear skin-colored underwear?
I mean, for sure. I don't know.
Or like lighter, white underwear. Yeah. Whatever.
Mm-hmm.
If she's got pale skin, which this woman did.
I agree that it should have looked more seamless.
Because then it takes me out and I'm like, oh, that's what a 70s cut looks like. Yeah, and that's what they look like on the butt. Remember the butt with the tape?
Yes.
What movie is this?
That's Diamonds Are Forever.
Diamonds Are Forever. Yep. She hides the tape in her like diaper.
Baggy.
Yeah. I was like, I wonder if these are a diaper too. Like, it just sent me on a tangent.
Exactly.
Okay, I continue to take us off course. I'm excited. I have a lot to say about this movie.
Okay, let's just go into our outfits then.
Okay.
Who wants to go first?
Oh my God, I have so many notes, but I'm gonna skip them because we got to keep it a timely fashion. I can't. How early is your first?
Oh, not super early.
Neither is mine.
Okay,
you go first. I feel like yours might be earlier.
Oh, shoot!
I'll go first
I don't know if I have a picture of this.
I'll pause. I'll cut this out.
Okay. Yes. Pause here. No, don't tell me I didn't take a picture of it.
I have general feelings. Should I say those?
Yeah. You
okay.
can start talking.
And stop the cut here. I'm going to come back. I want to tell you my general feeling of the film first. My general feeling was locations and sets were absolutely incredible. Right? Like maybe the best I've seen after the No Time to Die recent film.
Oh, yeah.
This might be my second favorite.
The locations are Austria, Sardinia, and Cairo.
And they're,
for the most part,
they're so beautifully shot. Like, I truly think they're up there with this most recent film. And remember, we came out of No Time to Die and we were like, well, that's incredible and gorgeous, and nothing is like that. Like, people didn't used to shoot locations like that. This is a new thing that they're this gorgeous. And I saw this and I'm like, that's rivaled, because I guess they did. You just needed the right cinematographer.
Oh, for sure.
I just felt like, oh my God, they were gorgeous. Incredible use of natural light, incredible use of camera work. I was really, really impressed with the camera work in this film, mostly because in the 70s, they tend to lean on all the like stupid filmmaking tropes that were coming out. I shouldn't call them stupid. They were just really overused. Like the zoom. I was sitting there being like, when are they going to do the 70 zoom? And I only noticed it once.
Yeah.
I'm sure they did it a few times, but like out of story feeling only one time. And that's huge for a 70s film. I just felt like they did a good job of not dating themselves with the filmmaking. And it was gorgeous. And I thought the movie overall, I didn't expect much, because Roger Moore has not been someone I expect much from, to be honest. But I thought it was actually quite a good movie. Like, the story was pretty good. The film itself was pretty good.
I really like this one. This is one of my favorite rewatchable ones.
I feel the same.
I love her. Like,
and it's so gorgeous. You can watch it.
Also that.
Play it in the background all the time.
Yes. I really enjoyed it this time around.
Really?
I was laughing out loud at like just watching Roger Moore cruise by on his skis with like the back projection.
I was laughing at those things too.
Yes. And like
they'd have those gorgeous location shots, and then it would go to a close-up where they're obviously on a green screen and be like, oh, that's different.
So funny. I love Anya's character. She's one of my favorite.
Which one's Anya?
The main girl, the Russian
that's
agent.
her name.
X. Yeah. Got it. And yeah, whenever people ask like, who's your favorite Bond girl, she's definitely up there.
She's great.
Yeah. So should I tell you about my first outfit?
Yes.
Okay. It's the one from when he goes to the Bedouin tent and meets
harem girls or whatever.
Yes, those girls. Yep. And there's one in the burgundy with
this is the one that comes up to him.
Yeah, with like the major push-up bra. They're all like majorly push-up bra. Which that part's like whatever. I'm not a fan of push-up, but I love the burgundy color, the gold details, the low-rise skirt, and then her headpiece that she wears. I mean, I like that whole scene, like how it looks, like pillows everywhere.
Yes.
Tents, carpeted.
I think both of us are into that like aesthetic. Turkish tent in the desert vibe.
Yes, exactly.
Visually, both of our like home inspiration mood boards are like covered in that.
Yeah. Yeah, I love the whole Bedouin deserty vibe. So I like the scene, and I like how in that scene when they meet, they have their little code word exchange of like whatever passerby something or other that they say. That stuff.
Something.
Yes. Any comments on that?
Comments. I love that. I love the parts of that scene that I really love. So like I love the concept, the design, all these things. Mm-hmm. I love that they have it in there, that they're showing a bit of like, or attempting a bit of like Egyptian, I would assume, culture. Mm-hmm. I don't like that woman walks up to him and is like clearly literally not even allowed to look him in the eye until he like accepts her offer, so to speak. I don't like how they really are enforcing this subservient women thing.
Yeah,
but
like, she's here for sex, so stay a night.
Yeah, like she better be. And I don't like the arc. Like in hindsight, as an adult, I don't like the archetypes that made. Those types of things were common in films, and that type of trope really made me think differently about the Middle East. And as an adult, having been to the Middle East, and like, you know, there's a huge gap between being a child and watching that kind of content and letting it subtly influence you. Yeah. And then having a huge gap, going to the Middle East on your own and being like, oh, this is what this like. Oh, why am I feeling like it shouldn't be? Or why am I feeling like it goes this direction? And then, you know, recounting, oh, because I was taught a trope that is not true. Or maybe it was accurate in like the year 600 or something, but not in current living life era. Sure. Or like, you know, accurate in small pockets, the way there's sex trafficking all around the world. There are always small pockets where this is accurate, but it's not fully accurate everywhere. Anyway, I don't, just to call it out, like it's a movie of its time. Okay.
Exactly.
But,
yeah.
But it did encourage a trope that was really, I think, racist towards Middle Eastern people and sexist a bit.
Yes.
But not to say it's not based off nothing.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah. I know.
But it's
like
glamorizing. It's like, oh, are you having a person from the Middle East out in the desert? This is what needs to be in that scene. Yeah. A woman needs to be serving him in basically like glittery nude. Mm-hmm. And he needs to be super powerful and super, super wealthy. Mm-hmm. He needs to be offering women and food to whoever comes. Don't forget to mention dates. Like all of it's in this trope. You know what I mean? Dates. Someone's got to ride a camel on the way in. Don't forget a sunset shot in the sand. There's like the checklist, the bingo card for like a Middle Eastern desert scene pre 2010, and this is it like hits them all.
No, totally. And I'm thinking like in the 70s, if you think about travel and stuff, like around that time, this is their glimpse of what the outside world looks like, you know?
This is the only for most people.
So there is a part of like they want to, you know, show you everything and what it's about, but then it's like,
they show it in a very specific way, and you're like, you're influencing in a way. Yeah.
It's you're wrapping it in the Hollywood or westernized bow, and then it's like, Anyway, good calling
but cool
out.
To have seen such things.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. What's your number one outfit or first outfit?
But I do love the idea of the outfit and the outfit in general. You know, like
that's the thing. It's still cute.
We always say like, well, it's very 70s, but that part aside, like the concept of it, the way it would execute today, love it.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
And generally it then still love it. You know, but I think I would like the one that's purple a little bit more.
I know that one's cute too.
You didn't get a lot of detail on the other outfits, but whatever. I like them all. I love the concept of that. I want to wear that shit around the house all day. And I will. Okay, my number one, I'm just jumping right to it, is the navy dress she wears with the crystal stuff. Yes. What is it called? Like lining is not the word. That's like the inside stuff.
Just trim.
Crystal trim. Yeah. Oh, and by she, I mean XXX.
Yes.
Major Amasova.
Yes. That is, hold on. That's my number 2.
And
I was gonna say that's in my list.
Yeah. Okay. Well, perfect. Having seen it in motion for the first time, it's total. The Paloma outfit is totally an inspiration by this, right? Like taken by this. Absolutely. And it's the same. It's really interesting because this is one of the few times that there's another female, also agent who's like working with him, who's closer to an equal. Like clearly neither of them are equals to him, but they're like in the system closer
This
to.
one, yeah.
And it's so clearly a call to her.
I know.
After seeing this.
That's why I got, yes, because this is one of my all-time favorite on-screen Bond girl looks. The slit, the color, the
Is it just one slit? I couldn't tell. It could be two.
I remember. It could be two. It might be just one. It could be two. I'm not sure. But it's like a matte fabric. I want to say jersey because it's the 70s. Like,
really?
It could be a silk jersey.
Doesn't look like jersey from my...
See, because the first time I thought it was like...
From my screen.
Like silk. Or it could be crepe de chine or something. Like more of a matte kind of silk.
Yeah.
But
if
it
you're
has
new
a
to
weight.
the podcast, Elma and I watch these on different movie screens, and since they're such old films with different kind of remastering, they always look slightly different. Like sometimes we'll be like, I like the white thing, and she'll be like, it's the blue. So we're unsure, certain.
I'm sure someone out there knows. But I like that it's kind of a matte fabric.
Yeah.
The plunge front is like the perfect height.
It fits her so nicely.
Beautiful.
I love that because of the cut from the front, you can still see the entire crystal design all the way down her sides. If she's facing directly front, it's not like she has to turn to the side for you to see that.
Yes.
I love that.
Yeah. Gorgeous. She looks stunning.
And I love that it's not just a straight drop down like V in the center, but it's a bit more of a boat neck. Yeah, but it gives you like the feeling of a V.
Yeah. It's just like it's kind of like a spread wide, like
wide.
A widespread V.
Widespread V in crystals.
Oh my goodness. The most glamorous.
And this is why the Bond production chose it.
Exactly. In the 70s.
Oh my gosh. The other thing I loved about it is I love that the costume designer chose this outfit for one that she was going to be in for a long time. So we get to see it a lot, and we get to see it in different lights and different ways of wearing it, basically. Like she's in the daytime in the desert fighting stuff and getting beat up, and then she's also like out at a beautiful night fancy place having a drink.
Yes. And I love like you get to see her wearing, like you said, in the different settings. I love that they put her in a ponytail for the fighty scenes. I'm like, finally, they put her hair up.
And they continue to do it. Like when she does that kind of thing, she pulls her hair back.
Yes. Ugh. So a little detail that goes a long way because it's practical and real.
Huge.
Yes. I love that dress. Should we talk about that van scene
where she falls asleep on him, or which part are you
van,
about?
Like
where he's like, you're a woman driver.
Woman drivers.
Yeah. Well, it's in my notes. The part of it that stood out to me most, because I was like, whatever, 70s, suck it.
I know.
Because she gets him back. She's like, but I did do this driving thing. Like whatever she says in that voice.
They're both just like annoyed at each other, which I kind of like that. I
like that part of it. Yeah. He doesn't need to be so sexist, but whatever, it's the 70s. But the afterward, when they're starting to drive through the desert, and that van starts breaking down before they go and find another ride, they play like a circus song. It's like a 70s song, but it sounds like a circus, like a 70s circus. And it comes to me, it sounds like it comes in quite aggressively, and it just bumps around like like whatever it is.
Yes, okay, I remember.
And I was jolted by that, just like, oh, what now?
They made some funny choices. Yeah. I mean, it's the music. This era, like Roger Moore's era of Bond, totally borrowed music from other movies. Like they hint at the cultural stuff of the time, which I think is
That's
cute.
Cool.
So like for example, in Moonraker, directed by the same guy, they had the Close Encounters theme like for a little bit, or like in this one they had Lawrence of Arabia theme in there when they're walking in the desert. Yeah.
Oh, wow, that's interesting. It's like a meme movie. A movie meme. A move meme.
Move meme. Movie?
Movie.
Movie.
I like my movie better.
Me too. Okay, should I tell you? Oh, that was my number 2 also.
Oh, right.
Yes.
Should I do my 2 then?
Good look. Yes. Go.
I know you know my 2 because you sent some pictures and it's very obscure, but you caught it.
Oh.
My number 2 is the Asian woman in that like Chinese inspired dress.
Mm-hmm. The white satin silk looking thing.
It's like she's just sitting behind the villain guy who initially gives them the microfilm, but then gets killed. Or prior to giving it to them, he gets killed.
Yeah.
So he's in there for just a bit, and she's one of the like two beautiful women's at his table sitting behind him. And she's the like only Asian woman in the film. I think maybe one of two, one of one,
one of one,
I think
maybe.
And she's gorgeous, but this
She is
dress,
gorgeous.
like the second the camera turned to her, I'm like, that dress.
That was an honorable mention of mine. I love it. Yeah.
It's white with like the little like flower embroidered detail. That's like classic of that shape of dress. We're talking about the Chinese classical dress with like this the
Mandarin
slightly
collar.
slightly high collar against the neck. Yeah, you know these terms more than I do.
Mandarin collar.
Oh, Mandarin collar. Yeah.
Yeah.
Pretty, of course.
And like a chi pao or a chong sam. I can't remember
These
if
are the
the
terms
terms
I
are interchangeable.
I'm not great at.
But yes, that traditional Chinese style dress. It's beautiful. I love that one.
So gorgeous.
Yeah. I think that whole scene is beautiful. The stark black and white like lobby or whatever dance floor it is at the bar. He looks great. She is fantastic when she enters, and then all the guests I think look great.
And they show suddenly like people and color and
Yeah.
movement, and up until then it's been more
Like
monochrome. It's been more like just the same with like little pops, like, oh, but
Yeah.
Ronald McDonald's here,
It
but the
just-
rest is just snow and black.
Yeah.
Oh, but this, but the rest is just, and here we're just like life.
yes, definitely.
And we get those rock star Sufis like going crazy.
They-
When the
yeah.
guy dies, they keep cutting back to these like, I think they're Sufi dancers. That's
Yeah.
what they look like. He's
Swirling
cutting back to their
dervishes.
faces like going crazy, whipping their heads around, going crazy, whipping their heads around. Like, oh my. I don't know about that. Like, Sufi dancing is a spiritual thing, and they're like, this is how he dies.
like making it intense.
I know, it
and
was a
stuff, yeah.
little I
Weird
don't know.
70s cuts.
You said these cuts?
Okay, my number three. Yes, is Anya wears this like indigo blue.
Yep, same. Also my number 3.
Yes.
I knew it.
The tight dress. It looks like it's stretched.
It looks
I
like
think it's
knit of some
yeah,
sort.
Yeah, exactly.
And it's
this one maybe it's
belted.
jersey, belted, and it's like a 3/4 sleeve length. It's when they're checking into the hotel.
belted just at the waist, the like natural waist.
And you know, I love this because I had a dress that basically looks exactly
I
like
was gonna
it.
say when I saw this, I was like, doesn't Elma own that?
You remember?
Yeah.
I don't have it anymore. It was like a cheapo like H&M dress, but I was like, I could totally cosplay this if I still had it now. It was,
You could.
I know, it was
You really
exactly
could.
it.
And the bag, I feel like the bag makes it as red bag.
Yes.
That matching.
Super
It's just
cute.
a nice pop of color. And this is the first time we see her like in color. Before this, it's like pretty neutral stuff.
Yeah, and like more like vacation, like casual wear. Like I think
that's
before
true.
this, she was more in uniform.
It's very Madeline Swan, don't you think? Like a knit dress with a V that doesn't show cleavage.
Yeah, and the
That's
sleeve length.
Immediately Madeline Swan.
Interesting reference call out. Yes.
Yep.
Yeah, super cute. I like that. Oh, I'm so
Love
glad
it.
you picked it too. Yeah,
And she looks great in it.
she does.
But she's doing, if you look closely at one of the pictures, I only noticed this after. The belt is brown, the bag is red.
Yeah.
On the bag, she's doing the classic 80s move, which clearly started in the 70s, of tying a knot in your bag strap
just saw
to shorten
that.
it. Yeah.
Oh my god. Wait. So is that like an 80s thing? Like
It was a thing in the 80s. Clearly it started prior.
It started 77.
My assumption was always that the idea was like they make the strap long enough to go across your body,
Yeah.
but if you wanted to just do one shoulder, you would shorten it that way. But then in the 80s, they just abused it. They're just like, everything can be shortened. Do what you like with it. And it just became a way to celebrate wearing things. Yeah.
Dang, I didn't notice that at all.
Don't love that detail, just for the record. For the record, that's negative.
That's a negative.
Other thoughts
cool.
on that dress?
No, I think it's just a cute little I would wear it today kind of dress.
Same.
Yeah.
Same.
Okay.
4.
My next one is Bond in his Navy uniform because I was re-looking at my list. I was like, I have to pick a suit. I think I can't just have 5 Anya looks.
And you had to pick a navy suit because it's the only one without a 70s tie.
Yes.
That is like wider than the bed.
Oh my gosh, yes. If we talk about like what this, I don't love the Roger Moore era suits a lot.
No.
Ever.
I blame the 70s.
Yeah.
Although he could have the suit part tailored better.
Yeah.
Even
There-
70s.
I mean, for the time, it looks good, I guess. But I don't love a lot of it's the 70s mostly. The lapel widths, the wide legs. He still carries a lot of it well, like a full denim suit, like he's the only one.
When I think about suit looks in the 70s, like shapes and cuts for suits in the 70s, and I think of them on someone like Roger Moore in a Bond movie, for example, I'm like, oh yeah, that era sucked. But then I think of him on like a stylish black man in like a 70s movie that's like stylish. I'm like, oh, I love it. Yeah, so I'm like, it can be done right.
No, you're so right.
But it's just not done right here.
It's when they lean far enough into the trend where they're, like you say, style, like putting the style into it. Yeah. Whereas this is like the businessman version of the 70s, which, yeah.
And I'm not trying to like racialize style or whatever. Racialize isn't a term, but you get what I mean, I think. But it just is what it is. This type of content that existed. The stylish stuff went in that direction.
Sure. John Travolta and Saturday Night
John
Fever.
Travolta doesn't do it bad.
Yeah.
Although his is like extra tight.
It's,
you know what I mean?
His is a little extra for sure.
He goes above and beyond.
Okay, wait. That was my number
4?
4. Yes.
Okay. My number 4, surprise, surprise, is... How do you say the villain's name? Stromberg.
Yeah, Strombo. I like Strombo.
I don't know. I'll call him Strombo. I'm gonna call him Professor Strombo because that's more fun.
I love it.
So Professor Strombo's like he's wearing, it looks like a black mock neck or turtleneck, and he's wearing this like maroonish, somewhat metallic-y looking
it's like shiny
suit, like pant and top thing. But the top thing does not button all the way down. It's like, it's open at the neck, V-style, with like maybe some buttons or something at the top. But the buttons only end like at the nipple. And he has some kind of necklace on with it that's just kind of large and chunky. It looks like it would be like a cross, but I don't think it's actually a cross. But like some chunky gold thing.
Like a hook
at about
something?
like the nipple height as well. Yeah. But the material is just very cool. It's the kind of material you see everywhere in the 90s, or that look at least.
Yeah, like a little bit Night at the Roxbury suit style.
It's very much Night at the Roxbury, color-wise, not shape.
Yes, not at all shape. Color, fabric, material.
It's more of like a priest in shape. But like a priest went to Night at the Roxbury, you got it.
Exactly, is Professor Strombo. Yeah.
It is Professor?
No,
or that's just us? Okay, I thought for a second you were like, that's correct.
I'm so happy you picked this one because it actually was my original number 4, and then I swapped it out for
I almost
Roger
swapped
Moore.
For one also right here.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, because
I can tell you what I almost swapped for after.
Okay, yeah, tell me after. Because I do. This is my favorite one that he wears, but I liked a lot of his outfits though. Because
I did too.
Right, like they're just striking images for like a villain. He had like, it's a bit Star Trek-y. I don't know when Star Trek.
It is a bit Star Trek-y, and maybe that's why I love it. Because like I would wear this. I don't know if I like the length of the top. It's very tunic length on a woman, but I would wear like a modernized version where it was like more of a crop top with a really high waisted pant, and maybe the pants slightly more fitted, but still wide legged at the bottom. I would wear that immediately, especially over a little black mock neck turtleneck.
Okay, I mean, you're selling. I'm looking what I'm seeing in the pictures of Stromberg versus what you're selling in my ears is like totally two different.
Oh, it feels different to you?
Yes,
to me it feels
I
like
love your version.
I'm gonna cut it for a young lady.
Yeah,
that's
no,
baby where we got.
That would be so cute. Because I love. It sounds adorable. It sounds like something Audrey Hepburn would wear when you describe it.
Oh, maybe.
But good choice. Yeah, I thought the villain was dressed really well.
Me too.
My last outfit that I chose is, and a lot of people don't like this because of what it means in context, but it's Anya's capture outfit.
You mean her like maroonish? It's gorgeous.
It's
my number 5.
Yeah.
Are you kidding?
I know. I love it.
But also, this is like currently this is one of the top 3 most trendy cuts in a dress at all.
Yeah,
at the moment,
cut
2021.
Wait, is it a dress or pants? They're pants.
Oh, but in the style that's popular is dress. I didn't know if it was pants. I didn't even look at the bottom at all. I mean, look at the top. How could I?
I know. The top is so good.
And it has cuffs, arm freaking cuffs.
So,
oh my God.
Yes. And so this is very like, people, Star Wars came out same year. Princess Leia. But
I asked, I did not technically do the Googling, but I was sitting next to a friend and I asked him, and he immediately Googled, I asked, when did the Princess Leia metallic capture uniform come out? Because that's what it seems to be referencing. And I was like, who's referencing who?
Yes, exactly.
He said that one comes out in 83. Because it's not in the first Star Wars, apparently.
Okay.
I don't remember details enough of Star Wars. I would have to look it up to be certain, but I'm going to trust his Googling.
Yeah.
And so this one comes in first. Because I was thinking, like, this is the classic trope they're doing where, like, villain captures a woman, puts her in a revealing and somewhat slave referencing, slinky, red-toned outfit. Big on the boobs. And like Princess Jasmine in the 90s, same freaking outfit, basically.
Exactly.
Her red capture look, like they do it. It's such a trope. And I don't know where that freaking trope comes from because it's kind of oddly specific to be repeated in such a similar fashion in so many films.
Did Bond start this trope?
I don't think Bond could have started it. I feel like a legend or a myth must have started it to be this intense of a trope. Yeah. But who's the first one to like visualize? Absolutely could be this movie. But I would feel like an animated film or some kind of like intensely classic something would have done it. But I can't think of one.
I have no idea.
Anyway, it did come before Leia's though, apparently. So Leia took it from us. What?
From us. Yeah, literally. Yeah. But it's so cute.
Oh my God, it's so cute. The cut.
Cross
also,
neck.
her boobs.
Yeah.
Oh my Lord.
I know. She looks amazing.
She looks. You know, it just makes sense in a movie where we literally see her actual boobs. They'd be okay with showing this much sexuality.
Let's talk about that scene though.
Okay.
I hate that for the whole movie she was 50-50, one-upping him at his side, all the things.
If I'm being fair, I don't think she was 50-50. I think she was always someone who would be like if this was military ranking, she'd be like 2 or 3 ranks below him. I didn't think she seemed to be his equal.
Yeah.
But she was close. I mean, she was still in her country's version of this. It's like working the same job, but being like, you know, a roll or two underneath.
Yeah. Okay. I mean, I like the, you know, like in the scene when they're going through the microfilm stuff, and then it was very like UK versus Russia. Like,
yeah, she definitely, I mean, she was able to like match him many times for sure.
And then like, I mean, I like a little bit earlier when she does the cigarette like thing in his face. All those moments, I feel like they're like those one-upmanships that I love.
And then she's a damsel.
And then
hate it.
I know. And even like if you look at On Her Majesty's, where Diana Rigg is kind of the same, like she has a big part in the story in terms of like, you know, her own motivations and her character and stuff like that. And then when she's captured, she's still kind of, you know, there's like dialogue.
Takes action.
Yeah, she takes action.
Yeah.
There's dialogue with the villain. There's like, she's noticing that her, you know, father's like, people are coming to save her, and she also then fights in those scenes. Like they could have, and that came out before this movie. Like they could have just anyway, I hate that in the 70s they really were like, nope.
They just give up. Yeah, always at the end of the movie.
Diamonds
they do the beginning
also.
part often in a movie that does it well. They do the beginning part well, and then at the end they just like we haven't gotten to the last scenes of the film yet, and I'm gonna hold my tongue.
Okay.
It just hits a certain point and it just rolls right down the hill, nice and quick.
Yes, right. I know. Okay, that was
that your 4?
No, that was my number 5.
Your 5. Okay. Oh, and my 5 too, of course.
Yeah.
Do you want to honorable first or keep and kill?
I was gonna ask, what should we do? Let's do
maybe keep and kill.
Okay.
You want to keep or I keep?
I will go first.
Okay.
Anya's capture outfit.
Same. Done.
Easy.
Yeah.
I'd wear that
on the mic.
I'd wear that today for show.
Oh yes. Easily.
Yeah.
And it is such a it is one of the most trendy cuts right now.
I know.
Period. Like
on point.
Top 3 for real. I can't believe how perfectly imitated it is. Except the second cross at the neck is less common, but still.
Yeah.
But the second cross at the neck in other shapes is really common. It's just like such a right now outfit. It's crazy.
Good choice. Okay, my kill is this outfit that the lady.
That's your kill?
Okay, I just showed the picture to Alana.
Clearly.
Let me
do you hear me?
Describe it to you guys. It's the assistant lady to Stromberg that says, Dr. Beckman and Professor Markovitz is here, or whatever, and leads them into the room earlier in the film. And she's wearing this off-white jumpsuit that has like a belt with a dolphin on it, cuffs with
Huge collar.
huge collar. Okay, and
it's like a halter cut, but with a huge collar. So the collar goes beyond the halter.
Yes, huge collar, deepest plunge to her waistline, baggy pants that are tucked into boots.
But it's like a jumpsuit, so like connectedly.
Right. Jumpsuit.
Correct.
And
Cuffs matching the belt. Exactly.
Dolphin cuff. I think there's dolphins maybe on, or like other sea creatures. This.
At least the boots match the cuffs and the belt, though. It's the same brown, but the boots are like just below the knee, so like it looks like that harem pant, kind of like big old billowy like, until it suddenly is tight.
Exactly. That was my kill.
Man,
what are your thoughts? Do you
like
love it?
That for a 70s look. I mean, it's not like my favorite thing at the moment, but I thought, oh, cool.
Oh, yeah. It definitely stood out. Like, it's an eye catcher.
It definitely stands out, for sure.
Like, it's unique.
I did not notice the dolphins when I was watching the movie. But in the picture, that's a very large, clear, it's either a dolphin or a big old fish.
Yes.
So
maybe
I think it's a dolphin.
I think it's a dolphin.
It'd be hard to see that and think fish. But on her wrist, it does look like maybe it's a fish.
Yeah, I think it's just sea creatures throughout. Dolphin is the central piece.
Oh my goodness.
What is
the back looks cool though. The back looks like it's really thin, kind of like that one cashmere gray thing we made together one year. Looks like a similar back.
It's like a very narrow racer back, like a strip.
That's how you call it.
Fabric down the back. I do like that.
That's cool.
Yeah.
And I just thought it was striking. White jumpsuit. I don't know. Anyway,
striking.
I wouldn't have cut it, but I get it. It's cool. It's cool. We can still be friends.
Now I want to hear your kill.
My kill. It was hard for me because there were some outfits that I was like, oh boy. But I thought they were so interesting and or funny and whatever. And they weren't super out of character for anybody. So I enjoyed them and I wouldn't want to really cut them from the film. So I didn't want to pick those as kills. So the kill I went with was just the one that I most just really didn't like in its context. And that is in the train scene at the end of the movie, James Bond is wearing like a brownish colored suit. Mostly his jacket is off and he's wearing this like white with brownish colored stripes button down top. And I just think that top's so ugly and he keeps it on for quite a while. And that's my kill. It's like thick old stripes. Just like the very 70s looking.
I know. There's a lot of weird stripe play definitely in the 70s that, I mean, it's whatever. I'm fine without it. Okay.
That's my
shout out.
God,
I mean, it's very, I don't remember it. So
exactly.
It's very forgettable.
That's why at the end I was like, should I keep that as my kill? Should I take a different kill? But whatever, it's my kill.
And he had a lot of outfits too in this movie.
He had a lot of outfits, but they look like the same thing in like different colors.
It's
like swiping through the catalog and they're just like, great, we'll get it in 6 colors and that's the movie.
I wrote one note of I like that scene when he after she does the cigarette thing in his face and he passes out on the boat and wakes up and like what you were saying about how beautifully shot it is. I love just how he looks laying like on the boat with the sun in his face and a bit sweaty and this like dusty tux. I liked the dusty tuxes. The like how it all looked worn and everything. And, and also Jaws.
I just can't get over the cinematography because so much of the visuals especially were in places like the desert or in the snow, which is hard to shoot because of the light reflection. First of all, you have to calculate for that with a film camera from the 70s.
Desert in the snow.
And they're mostly shot at sunset, which is the light changes every like 10 seconds. Right. You need to be so on it to expose that properly. And most of it, the close-ups are a little rougher, but the wides are like perfect. Like that's not easy and it's gorgeous. So I like can't I don't think I've seen another film in prior to digital that like captures those so well.
Oh, I love hearing that from your perspective.
Really like
it. Because I do think it's a beautiful.
And I noticed a lot of
one.
camera stuff that they were using that I don't know if I've noticed in the past, and I don't know if this correlates with like when these things were being invented. But in the 70s, you see a lot of, especially in the 80s, so maybe it starts late 70s, you see a lot of like a filter on the lens that makes sparkles or bright lights look in a certain shape.
Yes.
That's a type of filter. And they use that here. I actually wrote it in my notes later. They use that in this film. I don't know if they use it in every scene, but you can tell in certain scenes, like people often use it on water. So it looks kind of like actual sparkles. But they use it even in their explosion scenes. So if there's like light sparking off the explosion, the sparks are sparkles.
Glittery
They're
explosions.
like glittery sparkles. And I wrote that and I was like, you know what? I like this. I would want to do, like, I want explosions to feel a little more sparkly.
Just add some sparkle.
A little more accessible to someone like me who's like over it, another explosion. But this one's glittery, so I thought that was really cool. But I saw, and I also noticed they were using gradient filters, it looks like. I mean, of course, I could be wrong, but from my eye, in a lot of the sunset scenes and stuff like that, shots. And I thought that was really cool. Like, what's up? They just come out with, like, is this a new thing to use filters? So many filters on cameras at the time, because they really or just the cinematographer really liked them, I guess. Seemed like they use a lot of that.
Should we talk about our honorable mentions?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, I'll go first. I loved. No, wait. Let me rephrase that. I thought it was really cute. In this movie is wearing in one scene like a polka dot tie.
Well, didn't even notice.
Which I thought felt like not out of character, but like, oh, he's like trying things. Which I thought was cute.
Okay.
In like beige pants, and then it's like not even a full coordinated, like coordinated, but
they
not
did a lot
suit.
of different colored pant to jacket in this. And I guess that was a 70s thing I didn't know about menswear.
Yeah, I guess so. They're like, you can mix and match, not like how we did in the 60s.
Yeah, but sometimes they mix and match poorly. So.
Oh, yeah. No, for sure. They were trying things.
They were trying, and we appreciate that.
Thank you for trying.
Thank you for trying.
I loved Anya Omasova's like military uniform when she was first called in.
I liked both. I just thought like, ooh, this girl looks good.
Oh, yeah. In general, yeah, she looks great. But I liked that the tailoring looked perfect. First of all, like you expected, like a high-ranking officer's uniform to be, but the hip had like a nice, like
details.
It looked just more hourglass. It was like I want to say like calls back to I don't know, like more like the
like
Dior
Blade Runner look.
I was gonna say Dior's new look.
Oh, okay. Well, yours is like clearly where we get our references.
From like the 1940s. Late 40s. Where it's just like the thin, classic. Waspy, wasp-like shape, and it had a hint of that in her jacket.
Oh my God, you're so right.
It's so beautiful, like just really beautifully tailored. Yes, I love those. Oh, I almost put this in my list as something to keep, but Stromberg's worker uniforms. So
that was going to be my list. That was going to be my number 4. That was my alt 4.
Oh, yes.
I think they're incredible. And the more I think about it, the more I'm like, well, maybe I should change it because the cut on them, and you don't notice until you get up close and you're like, oh, that collar's so cool, especially in the fabric. Like I could go on.
Yes, I know. Okay.
They're the red in the submarine uniforms.
But did you notice there's like each like section of workers have different right?
Which is why at first I was like, okay, cool, great. Red, and then I'm like, oh
no, they thought about it. Yeah, it's like the people behind the computers have a different thing, the people carrying the guns have their like kind of Michael Jackson knockoff thing,
and they had like beret looking shape. Also, is he Professor Strombo? Listen, for me it's Strombo, Lou.
It is Strombo.
For Professor Strombo, is he French? What is he from? Because I couldn't tell at first, and I couldn't tell by his accent. And I started looking at visual cues, and I'm like, okay, so
I don't know.
They have berets. Some of them are wearing like not exactly berets, but like military beret hybrid looking hats. And then he had a few words that were like names of things that sounded like the French word for or something like that. And I'm like, okay, it could just be coincidence, or because he's from somewhere. He has a bit of an accent, but it's not. landable. It's like it's meant to be like he has none. I think.
Yeah. Story wise, I don't know. I don't know where he's from because to me he is such a forgettable villain.
Really? Oh, you know what? They just don't make him a part of it.
Yeah,
like he's not a necessity to the film. I feel like storytelling wise.
Like I don't.
Or story
wise.
Yeah,
he's not particularly one of my favorite villains, but this time though I did appreciate more like just. I mean, his wardrobe choices.
Yeah, I like that he has an appreciation for art and design, probably the most from what I've seen out of villains.
Yeah, there's other. I feel like he's very similar to Dr. No, like in terms of like that underground.
But we get to see so much more of his visual stuff that I just assume that I like his better.
Yeah. I hear that for sure. And like the design of his lair is gorgeous,
and his clothes seem really impeccably designed.
Yeah.
And Dr. No's clothes are really cool with their Asian influence, but like I've said in previous episodes, adding that Asian influence to European stuff is a great way to like pump it up really quick and easy, and it looks so interesting and good. But to be able to pump stuff up still in the Western look is harder, I think, to find something that's really like, oh, cool. And I feel like they did that with him with his clothes. Yeah. So I almost think it's even cooler.
I know. It's like I was saying that a bit Star Trek, but also kind of like it reminds me. I used to design scrubs, medical scrubs. It has a lot of that kind of minimal utilitarian like shapes to it in an interesting way, like in a modern, cool way. But yeah, his workers' uniforms were awesome. Lots of cool details. Like they were specially designed. You know, they weren't like, oh, let's just grab a jumpsuit and like, put them in all red jumpsuits.
Yeah. Also, this villain in his like high taste reminds me of, I don't remember the name of the cult and I'm not going to think of it on purpose, but there's a cult that the original cult leader is still alive at this moment, unless he recently died. He's like 80 or something, if he's still alive. But it's like an active cult is what I mean. That doesn't seem to be the most damaging of cults. I mean, I don't want to be calling out the most evil cult ever, but it is technically a cult. It's in Northern California somewhere. And
that's here.
Which is here, awkward. But the guy, one of the standout things about this cult, the main cult leader guy, is really into art, like high art. Like he is cults are always like making a bunch of money for their leader. He's spending all that money on creating mansions in which to house like the most famous art pieces, and like he's a collector of like he'd buy the Mona Lisa if he could.
Crazy.
Big art. Like they spend their weekends, even though it's a cult. I think this is one of the things that keeps people around. They spend their weekends like listening to live piano by the top concert pianist and like drinking champagne at sunset. Like it's all about the most incredible luxury, especially European.
Sure. Yeah. That's
and
him.
It reminds me of this
like
guy.
This
I'm like,
guy?
so that's him. Like our villain. Did this guy watch this when he was young and like he just became this villain?
Yeah.
But I mean, this guy's much more extreme because they're story on story about this stuff. But
I don't know. I mean, I think he's supposed to be pretty extreme too, wanting to start his own civilization underwater and stuff.
I mean, this guy literally is. That's what his version of most cults are. What his version is, he's like, we're all going to live here and do our own life world. Yeah. So pretty much, and they make wine and all this kind of stuff, which is actually award winning. It's like if you step aside the amount of, it seems like there's some mind control, so people are doing things against their will. You like all cults, you get a little brainwashed to do things you might not normally do, and it seems like there's also from that leader some sexual issues, abuse. Sure. If you take that part aside, it sounds lovely. You add that back in, you're like, and it's a cult. Got it.
Asterisk.
Yeah.
And it's a cult.
So it really reminds me of this guy. I couldn't stop thinking about that because they obviously this guy's white and quite old. The cult leader I'm talking about, very similar looking to this fellow.
Well, this is not a cult leader, but you know who else is definitely influenced by this?
Know.
Well, I was going to say...
I meant the villain could be a cult leader from the film. But yes, who are you saying it?
I was going to say Elon Musk, actually, I think really loved this movie because do you know that thing? There's like a little secret thing.
The gadgets in this movie. If I was Elon Musk, I would love them.
Right?
Yeah.
So the underwater car.
Yeah. And then also the boat that pops out of like a missile shell or something. Like, what? And everything being rounded and like... Cool.
I know. Aesthetic. So, okay, yeah, production design is by Ken Adam. He's like the main
Killer.
Bond's production. Yeah.
Absolute.
Beautiful. Like most epic designs and
Yeah,
everything.
that's what locations and sets I wrote in my notes are like insane.
Yeah.
So many underlines.
Yeah. So Elon Musk actually owns that car that was in the movie. I think he bought it in auction for like $800,000 or something. Like
Wow,
a little
quite
while ago.
specific. Lou knows her shit.
But that in like his Tesla Model S cars, like if you type in like a little keyword, something called like 007, I don't know, I don't have a Tesla, I don't know where to put this, but you type in 007 and then it turns the visual of the Tesla into that car. I know, it's so cute.
You're kidding.
I love it.
Okay, somebody who knows about this needs to please DM us, and if you can send a photo, video, I want a personal, someone who's done this.
Yeah.
Wow, cool.
So like little thing, everyone, there are people all over the world, and culture is influenced by Bond, and this has a big cultural influence, I think. This
So
one.
cool. And this one really has incredible gadgets. I feel like we don't have time to get into the gadgets, but let's just say they're fantastic.
They are, yes, very good gadgets. Any more honorable mention outfits?
Yes. One, I just wrote in my notes after many notes prior, I wrote, bitch loves a khaki dress. She's just like, khaki dress? How about I do it in a khaki dress? Perhaps a knee-length khaki dress? Maybe some buttons on a khaki dress. Like, okay, we understand you have taste, a specific
go
taste.
with my khaki dress.
Yeah,
Yes,
and I
totally.
didn't love any of them, but I felt like, cool, she's got a style.
Yeah,
It's fine.
also, yeah, it's very 70s. I mean, like, I think the one of Stromberg's, the lady that drops through the elevator hole.
Yes.
She also
Yes.
had the khaki dress, and
Khaki
then that scarf.
Then
Yeah.
the first time we see our girl, she shows up in a khaki knee-length skirt and jacket. Like,
that's
okay,
right. Yeah,
pretty much a khaki dress, but make it business.
yeah, the 70s. We saw a safari suit in this also. Check.
Which I didn't even pay attention to. I was so focused on other things, and I thought, wow, what a thing to take Alana away from a safari suit.
Totally.
She wears a slip. We have some
She
undergarments
does.
showing.
Yeah.
With our lingerie champion
It's
expert
very-
here.
Pretty basic. It's like
Pretty basic, yeah.
in in the train fighty scene. It's a whatever train fight, to be honest. Well, what my note about the fights in this is all the fights are meh.
Yeah.
Like just that 70s and Roger Moore choreography stuff
Yeah.
is like just
There are
like-
a few hilarious moments, like when the one guy's holding
hilarious
onto his
moments.
tie and falling off the edge.
Yeah.
And he just asks him a question, and
He slaps
I
it out
wrote
of
down
his hand.
somewhere the word he says, the answer. Like I want that clip
Cairo.
on my
Wait,
phone.
was it Cairo? No, that was feckish. No, I can't remember.
He says pyramids.
Pyramids.
Yes, pyramids.
Yes.
Ah! Because he just falls. Like I need that for first of all to be a ringtone or something. Like I need that. Desperately need that.
Yeah.
Also, visual moment that I need just the clip of, like I need it to be a GIF, is when Major Amasova takes this gun in Cairo somewhere. She takes a gun out of her purse and just tosses the purse.
Yes.
I'm
yes.
like, oh
Yeah.
my God, I love it.
I know, I love that too. She's like, I got my gun. Don't need that shit
I just
anymore.
screamed, secret gun, at the screen. I loved it. It's the tiniest gun. It's like a nail polish. It's so small.
Yeah, I love that too. That was the first time I noticed that moment in this watch.
Oh,
And
so good.
This watch was the first time I noticed that.
I feel like we already mentioned she wears a terrible knit hat, so we can walk past it. And guess what she's wearing with it? A khaki suit. I mean, the suit's not too bad in my opinion, but yes, don't put that on the head of it. I have to mention in that same scene, that's the scene where this woman rides up in like a bikini and like a big open caftan type of looking thing. And Bond's like, oh, I'm staring at this woman with way too much makeup on.
Oh my God.
And first of all, her tan is fake and bad looking. It looks blotchy in places. I'm so sorry. That's the 70s, I guess. But I'm so tired of the trope, and we see it so much in older movies like this, of as soon as you have sex or have some kind of romantic connection with someone, this woman suddenly becomes the jealous woman. And they're trying to turn Amasova into that. And I'm like, that's not even in character, dude, at all. She's not even over her dead lover.
I know.
And she's supposed to be like jealous of you? You're the one that killed him. She didn't care.
I know.
If anything, I mean, I didn't like that she was seeming romantically interested in him, but it seemed like in the beginning they kept twisting it where she was like, oh, just kidding, I did that to get at you,
Yeah,
the way
yeah,
he
yeah.
does. And I'm like,
Yeah.
fuck yes.
Yeah.
And you tricked me. I was getting annoyed until I saw that swap, and I was like, yeah, power move.
I know.
So cool. But then it starts being like, oh no, but now they're actually, and now she's jealous. And I'm like, oh, fucking.
I know.
What I hate most about the trope is it's not just the like lover turns into a jealous woman immediately once sex is involved, but also the man turns into a huge asshole immediately when sex is involved. Like, no wonder
Like-
our men were taught that and act like that as teenagers around us. Like, fuck that shit.
Yeah, also they're supposed to be husband and wife is their cover, right? And like he's like still making eyes and she's
He's
making eyes
actively
back, like
pushing at her and being like, oh, well, she's so pretty. Oh, like,
yeah.
I'm sorry, fall off a cliff.
with like every other beautiful, like pretty woman that he interacts
Yeah.
with, like the hotel lobby lady.
He's like
yeah.
nudging at her when every other
Yeah.
woman comes nearby, and he's like,
like she, yeah, I know.
Like, come on, are you 5? Also, it's like not
it's
human
just the
nature.
70s.
It's like some trope that someone made up that everyone's like, that's normal for humans. And I'm like, I've never seen that happen normally. I've only seen like a trauma response act itself out in that way. That's not, I don't think, natural. So, okay, had to mention.
Yes, thank you.
I still have 2 looks I have to mention also. I'm so sorry. I'm skipping a
tell
bunch
me.
of stuff, but the where is it in my notes? The woman at the front desk. I sent you a
Thank
picture.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
She's wearing a jellyfish's butt or something.
That is the best way to describe this ruffled thing. Okay. Yes, that actress, Valerie Leon.
She's beautiful. I'm so
she
sorry
is
for
beautiful,
her.
and she was in The Persuaders with Roger Moore before too, and like so much makeup first of all,
Yeah.
and so much ruffles, like striped ruffles.
It
too.
looks like a feminine version of a bomb exploded, and that's like what happened.
It's so terrible.
It's terrible.
It's
And
terrible.
It's shocking.
It
stings the eyes.
I know. It's just so much.
I really want to see the whole dress because I'm like,
I
it's so
know.
terrible. I would buy it at a
Is there
Goodwill.
ruffles at the hem?
I'd be like,
you know, like
yeah, this needs to be used for something.
it's hilarious. I don't
That's
know.
it. I mean, that's all. What else can you say?
Yeah. I agree. I almost put that as my kill, actually.
Me too. But I was like, I'm enjoying it too
Exactly.
much.
It's kind of just funny. I was like, let's just talk about it. I think that's it for my. Oh, one thing I wanted to mention that I noticed this time
please.
is in that Egyptian bar scene. You know, that fabulous scene we love.
Is this the one with the Sufis or later?
Yeah. And then the guy that they're buying the microfilm from, I just imagine how hot it must be filming in like places like that, because his dinner jacket is not lined,
Oh,
which is very unusual. And then I noticed when they cut back to the shot where he's dead, it has lining, so it was just like they took out the lining for during filming, because it must have been hot
Lou,
as fuck.
this is bad. This is great right here. Love these
but it's
moments and
so-
conversations.
The thing that gives it away is because he's wearing black pants. You see the black pants through the jacket, and then the seam lines, like where the seam allowance matches, you see it just looks extra white. And I was like, ugh. But, you know, it's very subtle.
Yeah. The last one I wanted to mention is just that the Professor Strombo's gray outfit is like clearly Dr. Evil inspiration.
Yeah.
I saw that and I was just like, oh, and that's where they got it. They took the collar from Dr. No or something.
Yeah.
But
exactly.
But it's
all
the exact same gray shape coat thing. And
Yeah.
I think they pulled a lot from this movie for Austin Powers.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
oh my God.
Yeah. No, totally.
And I thought, how cute. It's
How
exact.
cute. Yeah.
And that's probably why they chose that. Like, Dr. Evil looks like a creepier version of this guy.
It's
So I get it.
yeah, wait. Dr. Evil has the scar, right?
He has a scar and
Okay,
he's bald,
so-
but he's like white, blue eyes,
Right. He's
European looking.
it's definitely pulling from all of them, but I think the most that he's pulling from is one that you haven't seen yet, but it's by the same director. You Only Live Twice. You'll
Cool.
see.
Well,
you'll see the villain in that.
maybe we'll see it later
yeah.
this season.
But there's definitely, definitely the hints of all the, you know, it's a villain trope that minimal, high collar, gray. Yeah, Bond villain look. That Ronald McDonald suit in the beginning, the ski suit. is designed by, or like he had his own ski wear line by the
What?
stunt guy, that does the all the ski stuff, Willy Bogner. It was his like ski wear clothing brand.
Wow.
I know. What a bold choice. It's great.
This movie made me wonder what is the first use of the zoom and enhance, because they do use it in this, and I'm like, what? It's already 77? I wonder so if anybody knows the first use of that, love to know. Also the teeth man, the
Jaws.
metal teeth man. His name is Jaws?
His name is Jaws.
Well, there you go. The one who fought back and killed the shark with his metal teeth.
Yeah.
Wild.
Yes.
There are a few moments where, like, there's a moment where he's fighting with Bond, and Bond takes like a hot wire and goes to stick it on his teeth to electrocute him. Yeah. And he just stands there with his mouth wide open so that the teeth could get electrocuted. Like, shut your mouth. 1 second. How about? That's one moment. Yeah. Another moment I have is where Bond goes to shoot him from like partway across a room, and he shoots him in the teeth so it bounces off.
I know. Yes.
I'm sorry. How specific would you need to be? Also, that would at least hurt his lips or something. Like, that's crazy. And the teeth are magnetic. What material are they made of?
How can he like open his mouth like they're magnetic, like his teeth?
Imagine he can't shut his mouth because he's opposite. And maybe that's why he doesn't shut his lips. He's just like, I can't.
Yeah. They're constantly like resisting each other.
Yeah. I also love the moment where the car flew off a cliff in Italy, crashed directly into a house, like straight down. And the first thing that the Italian guy says is, Mamma Mia.
Yes.
I was like, okay.
Mamma Mia.
Okay.
Yes. Oh man. The 70s Bond movies were fucking fun though.
Yeah. I also, for the first time, understand why people thought Roger Moore, this is going to sound so mean, is pretty.
Oh.
Like, up until now, I've only seen the later Roger Moore movies, and I was like, literally, how could he be a Bond? He's a cartoon of a weird man. And he's too old, and he's too weird, and he looks like he does not understand what people are saying around him. I was just like, no, I don't get it. But you see him younger, and you're like, oh, he was pretty once.
Oh, yeah. Like, I mean, you saw Live and Let Die. I thought he looked great in that. Questionable. Because I think he's pretty. Like, he's a handsome, charming looking man, and then he like tanned way too much, and then got too old and creepy to play the. I mean, they were written terribly, his Bonds.
Yes, which is a huge part of it. Yeah, surely.
It's like how you're perceiving him. But yeah, I think he was a handsome dude.
I finally understand why people thought he was so handsome, but the 80s did him dirty. That's what I wrote in my notes.
Dirty Harry.
Yeah. I just want to talk about the very last, I think it's the last scene, or maybe the last two scenes, where they Bond and Triple X escape in the escape pod that is literally an escape pod.
Yeah. Yeah.
And they slide into it, and immediately it's like a bed.
Sex room. Yeah.
It's like a sex bed.
Yeah.
Which is also like definitely what is the movie? Austin Powers. Big time.
Yeah,
like they were like, we're taking that straight shot for shot. And ends up having sex with the girl, and the girl's like, the woman is gonna shoot him because she killed his lover. Yeah. She's been saying the whole movie, I'm gonna shoot you.
I'll kill you.
I never don't get my I never
not complete his mission.
Yes,
her mission or something.
I always complete my missions is what I'm babbling over.
Yeah.
And she just like playfully shoots off the champagne, which wouldn't work. It would just make the cork stuck in the champagne, by the way. And then like proceeds to have sex with this guy.
I know.
I hate it.
I know.
With a passion. From that scene, from a little bit before that scene on, she's a different person, a different character, and it's what they keep doing in movies. They have them be a generally stick with their character, interesting female with a little bit of depth, and then they get to the very final bit of the movie and they just throw it off a cliff and turn her into a two-dimensional like sex doll.
Yeah. You saved my life. Now I love you. Yeah. And yeah, because she was so professional. She was like,
you saved my life, and now I'm desperately horny for you.
Oh,
it's not even.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Yeah. No, because I loved how she was so professional, and that scene where she learns about like how he killed her lover in Austria 3 weeks ago and all that. I love that storyline.
I love that too.
I thought it was so good, and like when you're seeing it in like a big action movie at the time, I was like, oh, that's like a great plot point.
Yeah.
And she's like, after this mission's over, I'm gonna kill you, and like I'm like,
Yeah.
damn, she's hardcore. Yeah, that didn't happen. If you look at the end of the movie, that scene didn't exist.
Yeah. I want that scene to just have not existed, to be honest, in that film. Yeah. No way. The seduction makes no sense to me. I just wrote no way 1,000 times in my notes. And side note, when she leans in to kiss him, you can see that her wet maroon dress is staining the cushions.
No, I posted that before on our on our Insta. Yeah,
I must have missed it, having not seen the film yet. Context is out the window.
Exactly. It's like because it was like a red burgundy color.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it gets wet, it's gonna bleed and stain, and there's red marks all over that white satin sheets.
Yep.
So
I love this movie. Cutting out the last thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I still enjoy it. I had a great time watching it this time. And you're right. It's beautiful. Like, it's more beautiful than I remembered. And especially after having seen No Time to Die and stuff, it's like hits a little bit more. Yeah. No, I had a lot of fun watching this one. And the music. Can we shout out the music?
I loved the music.
I know. Like the 70s cowbell, funky Bond song. Like, oh, I love that stuff. It's like cheesy and of the time, but feels good and it's groovy. Like, yeah, I love it.
It fits the movie. Like the movie
totally
feels like
movie.
It's when Bond was still fun. There was still play in Bond.
Yeah.
Great.
Yeah.
Although Sean Connery is still my boy.
Yes, me too. I love that you love him.
But this was a good movie.
Yeah, yeah.
Good. Well, thank you guys so much for listening. We hope you enjoyed the movie. And if you have anything specific to say about it, we would love to hear it.
Yes.
You can contact us on our Instagram at DressToKillPod, where you will also see pictures of the outfits we chose and a little picture of us if you want to see what we look like. Or you can tweet at us at DTKPOD. We would love to hear some tweets over there. It's pretty much crickets, but that's fine. It's totally fine. Just incentivizing you to tweet at us. Thank you again for listening, and we'll see you next time.
Bye.
Bye.